Am I overreacting for telling my coworker to stop talking in a baby voice? Hi Reddit, long-time lurker, first-time posting. I, 22 female, have an odd coworker, 22 female, and like the title says, she does talk in a baby voice. When I first came to work at our company, she was quiet and never talked to me, and I understand I am new. Why would she want to talk to me? But me being the person I am, I wanted to try to have a relationship with my coworker because we are going to be desk to desk, so I would just start out by complimenting her on her clothes and got us to start talking from there. I finally had my foot in the door, and now I don't have to sit in a quiet, awkward space with her. Until one day she started speaking in a baby voice, and at first I thought it was a joke. But there was no joke that was made. It was just her speaking to me, and I just awkwardly laugh, and I just went back to what I was doing. I thought it was a one-time thing. Maybe she was making a joke, and it just didn't land for me. But I was wrong. It was not a one-time thing almost every day now. She at least speak in that baby voice once, and it is starting to make me feel uncomfortable, because now she will come over by me and talk to me in the baby voice and just start acting strange, such as walking by my desk, stopping staring at me, and walking away, waiting for me when I go on my lunch. And recently I was talking to another coworker and she comes over to grab a cup of coffee. She turns to look at us, stares and scoots over and says, "Can I play?" In the baby voice laughs and walks away. My other coworker was stunned, but then we both laugh awkwardly and we tried to go back to our conversation. So Reddit, am I overreacting if I tell her to stop talking in a baby voice because it is making me uncomfortable? Update 1. Hi Reddit. I talked to my coworker. I never thought this would have happened, but here goes. I grabbed my coworker aside and said I needed to talk to her. She followed me to the break room and I asked her about why she sometimes spoke in a baby voice whenever she was around me. She looked at me and began to laugh and I was caught way off guard. She was laughing so hard that she started snorting. She eventually stopped, but it felt like she was laughing forever. Then she walked out of the break room and came back with our other coworker, and they were laughing together. At this point, you are probably as confused as I am. Turns out it was a prank because I was new to the company and they were waiting to see how long until I broke. I started working here in August. I beyond words, and I am embarrassed because this was all just a prank, but genuinely felt weird about this coworker and come to find out it was a prank because I was new. I smiled awkwardly and laughed because I didn't know what else to do. All I can say is that I am embarrassed that it took this long for me to realize it was a prank. Final update. Hi Reddit, I am back with an update. The reason why I took so long to respond to some comments is because I was trying to handle how I was going to approach my coworkers. So from my last post, my coworkers were pulling a prank on me by making one of my coworkers speak in a baby voice for months and act creepy. After realizing it was a prank, I did feel very embarrassed, but some of the comments made me realize I have nothing to be embarrassed about, because it did make me uncomfortable, and how was I supposed to know it was a prank? I decided to confront my coworker, the one who did the baby voice. For this explanation, I will be calling her Erica, a fake name. I told Erica that the prank made feel uncomfortable because I genuinely didn't know how to confront her about it, and I didn't want to overstep, but it became very uncomfortable when she would watch me. Erica looked at me and laughed. She told me that I couldn't take a joke and that I am being immature. Erica then told me that I am nothing special, that our other coworker who was in on the prank, for the sake of the explanation her name will be Bray, a fake name, was also doing it another girl in a different department. Not only were they doing this to me, they were doing it to another girl, and I was completely shocked. I walked away and decided to go to HR. This was getting out of hand, and it may not seem like a big deal to most people to bring it up to HR, but this had been going on for months for me, and I wasn't sure how long it was going on for the other girl. I told HR everything, and surprisingly, they had believed me. They had apparently been having issues with Erica and Bree for a while with these so-called pranks, but since the other people they did pranks to never brought it up to HR directly. The only reason HR knew about the pranks was because of office gossip, but since it was never formally reported, there wasn't anything they could do. Eventually, news got back to Erica that I had reported her and Bray to HR, and it was a clusterfuck. Erica started screaming at me in the middle of the office to the point other floors could hear her. Bray came up to her trying to calm her down, and then Erica told her that I reported. The both of them, and they both then started screaming at me. Erica started throwing all my things off my desk, and Bray started stomping on all my things. They completely lost it, and were escorted out by security and fired. I am not an exciting or overly extrovert person, and I've never experienced this, let alone heard of something of this be this crazy. So sadly, this was the most exciting part of my year. Take what you will, but I am amazed by the fact people can be this absurd and act like this. As of right now, I am not sure what happened to them, because they never returned to pick up their items. I talked to the other girl they did this to, and apparently she suffered way worse than I did to the point she had to go to therapy. And for privacy reasons, I will not go into detail, and all I can say is that she feels so much better with them gone. This will be my last update. Thank you to everyone who gave advice, and thank you for making me realize that this is bullying. Adding more context. The other coworker who was being pranked was not being pranked the same way I was. It was way much worse, and that is all I will say. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.